Is it really?
Yeah, it's got hella scratching and the front bumper's mildly buckled. We'll try and push you out.
Okay.
Oh, that is a horse back there. Nothing major though.
All right, I guess that's a DNF, ain't it?
Yeah, slightly.
Hey, Mike here, Mike's House of Mods. I hope you're having a great day. It's a gorgeous day here in Nashville, but unfortunately, I'm going to be doing some repairs. Any of you that follow me on Facebook, you know I do autocross, and the last event had a little bit of a mishap. Alright, so I'm going to be heading over to a fellow autocrosser, a friend of mine, Eli, and he used to be an autobody guy. So he was there whenever I had my little mishap, and he looked at it and he said he can help fix this thing and get it back together again. But let's go ahead and see what it looks like now, and then I'm going to start heading over. And as you can see, most of the brunt of it was on the passenger side, near the fog light turn signal area. A lot of scratches and things like that, but they're really not too deep. I think it can be buffed out. This is off a little bit, and there's kind of a dent right here in the plastic, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to fix that. Hopefully we can do something with this little breakage here. And I already bought a new fog light area, or fog light tail turn signal housing, and I have this piece coming in. As you can see, it doesn't go across anymore. So I guess today we're mainly going to work on these scratches, try to get this dent out, try to work on this little area here and replace that housing there, and then get rid of some of the scratches and stuff that have been up on the hood. Like I said, you can kind of feel them, but I think that they'll buff out. And then I could do this on my own, just scratch some scratches on the lens there, and I'll just go ahead and sand those out and get that ready to be looking good again. So heading over to Eli's now. We'll get this thing done. All right, so I am here at Eli's shop, and like I said, he is a autobody man, and he's going to help me out with this thing. He owns a awesome G8 Pontiac with a, what size 8 cylinders in that?
It's got a 6-liter.
A 6-liter. Sounds amazing. He does autocross as well. So we're going to assess the situation here. He's going to kind of go over what we need to do today. I'm probably going to be doing most of the work, but that's fine. I kind of want to learn this stuff anyway. So let's take a look at what we have down here. Okay. So you're saying, well, this is all messed up here. And basically what I did was I hit a post or something when I went into the trees, you saw in the video. And if I didn't hit that post, I think I'd have been fine. But it would just been these scratches. But so Eli, if you want to kind of tell us because we got a tear here, so we're going to use basically heat to get a lot of this stuff out of here.
Yeah, so, essentially, it's hit kind of bad enough to get it back, 100%. Of course, it would need kind of, ground down, glued up, heated up, repainted. I was saying, kind of borderline, most shops that they would probably even look at, replacing the bumper cover. But of course, we're race car status here, so we're just going to do what we can.
I just mess up another one anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just going to do what we can today just to make it look better. So yeah, what we're going to do is get the heat gun out. We're going to heat up some areas here. We're all kind of pulled out and distorted here. We've kind of got a goose egg on the top here. Got a little tear here. Fog light kind of got busted up here as well too, which you picked up a new one there, so that's going to help us out. So yeah, so we're going to add some heat here, kind of push this in, pull that out. We'll also heat the top up here to kind of get rid of that goose egg. You kind of push in a little bit here, so we'll try to give that a little bit of pull. Brackets probably just pushed in a little bit there. Once we get it heated up as well, we'll also get a little bit of cold water in a rag. We'll they call that kind of quenching. So once we get it heated up, we'll cool that back down rapidly. That's going to kind of help it set it back in its original position. And then we'll kind of touch up these rub marks down, and then we'll also buff up these areas here as well. And then, your headlight kind of took a good little scuff here. That's not too bad. Your lens is not cracked up, so that doesn't look too bad. So we'll wet sand your headlight out, give that a buff. Hood just took a little bit of grazing. That's not bad. So we'll just wet sand this area out, buff this up, and get you back in action there.
All right, cool. Well, let me get this camera set up, and I guess probably the first thing we're gonna do is clean it. I mean, just wash it down a little bit.
Yeah, we'll clean this little area here so we can see a little better what we're working with, and we'll get rocking and rolling.
Awesome.
to clean things, and on a little closer inspection here, this is going to help relax things a little bit better here. So see that we have the tear here a little bit?
Yeah.
So now we got down here and clean things here a little bit more. See our lower lip here?
That's folded down, yeah.
Yeah, so just actually pulled this out over top here.
Oh, from underneath?
So yeah,
okay.
so once we get this actually pulled, we'll be able to unclip or unbolt this, however this is.
So that'll push this back.
We'll be able to fold this lip back up underneath there, and that's going to release all this tension here, and that's going to get that all folded back down in there.
Okay. So it
yeah.
might just look like a little crack here by the time we're done.
We'll be able to actually push that crack back together there. Yeah,
Okay.
and then that'll be able to make this a whole lot easier of pushing this section back down. This is going to relieve this tension a whole lot easier than all this right here. Yeah.
Cool.
So now we have everything cleaned, and we can get after the repair now.
I can leave it on there. All right.
Get her?
Yep. Look at that.
There we go.
Nice.
Grab that, whatever there's.
Oh yeah, that's
Piece of
my.
your fog light. Dangling.
Yeah, so that must have. Oh yeah, that did. That must have broke off. That must have broke off as well or something. I don't know. It don't matter because it comes with the
Yeah, broke that hole.
thing anyway.
All right. Hold tight right there for a second. So go ahead and put it face down. So I'll put our
Like
valves
this?
down here. Yeah. Looks like, yeah, we got 2 screws here, and then it popped our clip out here, and then this is the top section here.
Oh,
And
for
this
that.
is where that lip is folded in here. We got a big gap right here. You can see right here too, this edge here.
Yeah.
This is where it's bound up here. All this should be folded up inside this lip here.
So that's that great looking thing like this, basically
Yeah,
under
yeah,
there.
that's the grid here, and you can kind
Yeah,
of
here's
see
where
the
it's supposed to be.
difference. See how this is
Yeah.
all inside that lip?
Yep.
So if you compare the two, this is where it's folded up and bound.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, so what we need to do is remove this. We'll heat this all back up to where we can get this to pop up inside this lip here. Get
Is that tab? See how this one has the tab?
Yeah,
Is that still there?
That tab's folded
It's
up
under
underneath
there?
it. Yeah,
Okay,
so
as
it's
long
still
as we can
there.
still
Yeah,
hook up to it.
So we'll heat that up, straighten that tab up, get all that to hook back up.
Nice.
Get it back looking more factory like
Yeah,
this
it's
side
supposed
here,
to be.
like the driver's side.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
pre-autocross.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, we can see the difference here too.
Oh,
See
yeah.
the big old gap here, whereas see how this is all kind of sealed up nice and tight.
Yep.
So we'll just get this side to match closer to that side.
And there it is. It is gone and out of here. And you can see I'm going to have to well, change these bulbs because the my switch light is in this one, so I'll be taking this off along with the capacitor and stuff. The switch back. So this is officially out of here. I'm going to set this aside and we'll start working on, I guess, forming and heating and all this other kind of fun stuff. All right, so since we have all this apart anyway, I think I'm going to take this off, which is the good fog light / turn signal housing, and probably clean up the front because the new one looks like this, and the old one looks like this. So it's kind of the same as your headlights, and they're getting all messed up. So I'm going to try to take the one that's actually good. This is the bad one. One that's good, it kind of look like this as much as I can, and it's easier to do it now than later. So I'm going to just go ahead and take that sucker off.
got the crack all
That's-
closed up. This back in line here.
Yeah.
So just for a few minutes of work there, we've got our shape back mostly in line. We'll do
Nice.
a little bit more smoothing on it.
Very cool.
I'm gonna try to just work this. Is what I want to get down, is try to get this high spot down a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then that will relieve this right here. We still got just a little divot there. So if we can push this down a little bit more, that's going to relax this a little bit more, and then we can push that out just a hair more.
Nice. I think a lot of it's just bug guts and stuff.
Yeah, so we'll just start with this 1500 and sand them down until they look flat, and we'll see how that is first. So I usually like doing spray bottle as well too. So that way you can just keep it wet. Well, all right. Well, she got this all knocked out, wet sanded out here all the way up to 2000 grip. So now we're just going to give this a little buff action now. So this is just some 3M #1 rubbing compound. So same stuff using a body shop here just to knock out nibs and stuff, and for clear coat and whatnot.
All right.
I'll let you take over here, do a little bit as well. You don't need a ton, just a few little dabs will do you here.
A little dab will do you.
Yeah.
I'll use that water too.
Yeah, just a little bit. You don't need a lot, but it keeps the compound from drying out as well. I usually do it on a real low speed as well. And I'll work it around. And the main thing too with buffing here is you can catch an edge, but just go slow. And you can see right away it's bringing the shine back.
Yeah. Wow.
So with this, just take your time. And you don't need to get carried away with forcing down. Just kind of let the buffer do the work. You'll just let the weight of the buffer.
Wow.
So you can see just how quickly that's going to bring the shine back up.
Holy
And then,
cow.
like I said, you can tell the difference between the two there. Just give you.
So you want me to do up here or?
We'll finish doing it through here.
All right. So I'll put one there.
Yeah.
One there.
Just give you a couple more on this. We'll go. We'll blend in on
Oh,
there.
I'll wait on that one.
Yeah. Just a little spritz is fine.
You could take that.
How's these fit down through you like that? Yeah, that's actually, like we were talking about, that's the texture. We can just do a little bit
that's
of
in
that
there, yeah.
polished by hand.
Oh. All right, we're doing the first kind of test fit here. We're gonna see why that's not flush, and hopefully we can get that back to normal. And here's the new, actually the old, but newly cleaned light and turn signal, which looks really cool. I'm still blown away how nice and clear those things look now. Right across here was where that silver piece went for the base model. I think all I need to do is just wipe that down. There are a couple of holes here, which is where it was kind of held onto, but you really can't see them for right now. Maybe eventually I'll go and get a red line piece here that's open. But in the meantime, I think all I need to do is clean those. And the only one that's going to know about it are you guys who watched this video. The same thing on this side, nice and clean there. So I think the last thing we need to do now is just kind of buff out some of these scratches and things that's happening here. Eventually someday maybe I'll change this bumper, but certainly not while I'm doing autocross, because you know this thing gets tagged with cones and everything else. Unfortunately, I didn't really want it to get tagged, you know, with a tree or a fence post, whatever the heck I hit. But it looks a heck of a lot better. So we're gonna go ahead and polish these things out and get this baby buckled up, and I'm heading home. All right, we have everything buckled down. We got the screws and everything all in. Everything's there. So the only other thing we're messing with here is this corner. Eli's kind of working that corner because that reflector light, turn signal light, was not angled right, so I guess apparently it got kind of messed up in the bump, the mishap. So trying to straighten that out, get that all lined up nice. Hopefully I can get at least fairly close. Now have this gap looking a lot better than it was. Before, this used to be really tucked up underneath of here, but now it's not perfectly flush, but it's a lot better than it was. So this was able to be pulled out and like there. And it's very similar to the other side. It's a typical General Motors gap. So basically, like I said, we're going to go ahead. He's already cleaned with just some cleaner most of the stuff off of the fender here, or actually the hood. And that looks really good. So we're just going to hit that with a buffer real quick. And then these ones down here, we're going to just go and buff those out, see if that's pretty good. And looks a lot better. Okay, we're done and the front fascia is all back on, and I want to thank Eli for all his help. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, it definitely looks a lot better than it did. Is it 100%? No, of course not. It's not going to be 100%, but it is pretty close to the side that wasn't messed up. Still got a couple of things that that are on here that I'm not going to be able to get rid of. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera, but there's some scrapes here that are there, and some little cracks, spider ring cracks and things that are just, I mean, it's just part of the hit. What are you going to do? So, but we did, you know, fix this corner a little bit. We could have gotten it better, but the problem was behind it, there was a kind of like, not a bracket, but some kind of an extra plastic piece back there as a support. And we just weren't able to push that enough to make that perfect. But it's definitely better than it was in that little crack. Even though that's not 100% perfect either, it's better than it was. And I think that's kind of what I was looking for, something that was better. And it literally cost, well, it cost me to get a new light thing here, but it literally just cost some touch-up paint and some time with a buffer and a heat gun. So, I mean, when it comes time to sell this, I'll probably just get a whole new bumper fascia here and paint it and make it look perfect. But while I'm racing, hey, these things happen, unfortunately. And I get hit with a lot of cones, or actually I hit the cones, and I certainly don't want to buy a brand new bumper fascia and screw that up. So that definitely looks better than it did before, and I'll take it. All right, that's going to be a wrap for this video. It's a project that I really didn't want to do, but when it comes to racing, you never know what's going to happen, and these things sometimes occur. So if you like this video, please smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that little notification bell so you know whenever I come up with some new ones. I do have a couple more planned, obviously, to be coming up. We'll be shooting shortly and adding those online as well. So until then, I'll see you later.